Hello everyone, my name is Bygl and welcome back to another episode here from the Let's Play series. I hope you are having a wonderful day today. And today's episode is gonna be quite interesting, I hope at least, because we will be mostly working on some new redstone contraptions in our world here. In the last few episodes we've been mainly focusing on building, and I think it's kinda time to switch it up a little bit. So today's episode is gonna be 90% redstone, I hope at least. And hopefully you guys are gonna learn something new. I have already learned something new, so that's pretty nice. And yeah, I hope it's gonna be a pleasurable experience doing this. So, what is the first thing we're gonna do in today's episode? Well, it's gonna be something silly. It's of course not gonna be a farm or something useful. We're gonna leave that for later. First of all, we're gonna try to do something with node blocks. So right in front of us here is a node block pentatonic scale, whatever that means. I've been looking at a bunch of forums and videos talking about node blocks, and this is a pentatonic scale, so we've got nodes from 0 to 2, 4, 7, 9, 12, 14, 16, 19, 21, and 24. And if you tune the node blocks in this way, they sound like this. And that basically means that even people who really suck at making music, like myself, can do stuff that doesn't sound necessarily horrible just by playing random notes, right? So what we're gonna try to do with this is we're gonna try and automate all of these node blocks using a pretty cool system that I have found on EFOS video. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, just so you know that this is not my idea. I basically shamelessly stole this. But we're gonna try to do our own spin on it, of course. It's not just gonna be a blatant copy. Because I'm gonna tell you guys, coming up with your unique redstone contraptions is really difficult, especially if you're not like already really good at them like myself. I just kinda usually take people's concepts and I put a little spin on it of my own on it, and that's what we're gonna do with this today as well. And that includes breaking which ones? Wait, this is a odd number of node blocks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So we're gonna leave these 6 over here. That's 6, and these 5 ones, we're gonna push them a few blocks up. This is just for visual aesthetics, by the way. We're gonna try to make it look cool by making it look uneven and asymmetrical. And the way we're gonna automate this as well is gonna be very simple. All we really need is a line of comparators over here. Let me get those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna do the bottom section first together, and I'm gonna do the upper one afterwards myself. And then we need droppers down here like this, and we're gonna have hoppers above them like so. I'm missing a hopper. Dang it. So just in case you don't understand how this works, basically what we're gonna be using is the relativity of the item containers and comparators, because comparators, they detect the percentage of how many items are in the actual hopper, and by that way they can actually calculate how much redstone they're going to emit. So if we're gonna put one item in the hopper, nothing's gonna happen. But if we put a shovel in there, that is a bigger item, because it basically is a full stack, which you're moving around, because you cannot stack them. That's how the game, at least, calculates the weight with the comparator of this item. And that's what we're gonna use to actually play the sound. I'm gonna make a stone button, or I'm gonna take one rather, just so I can show you. So what we're gonna have is we're gonna have a randomizer. This is basically a randomizer, and currently it is set at a 50-50 chance to play that node block. And if I push the button, you can see that it played, and I can play it again. And I need to also move the node blocks, because currently we're playing 2 of them at the same time. My bad. I'm gonna have to fix that, but yeah, you can see that now it didn't play because it actually moved the spruce planks into there. If we do it again, the shovel played the sound, shovel play the sound, shovel play the sound, and the plank don't play the sound. And if we put more non-stackable items like this, or stackable items but unique from the other ones that we put in there, basically we can decrease the chance of these sounds playing, so we can actually kind of manipulate which notes are gonna be more likely to play, which is a really cool system that I really like. I'm gonna have to move this whole thing by one though, because we need to have a block down here. So we're gonna try to do a test run here. I set up all of the droppers to have a single shovel and a single plank block in them, and we're gonna put a observer clock, which is gonna fire off repeatedly. And we have a repeater on 2 ticks here because that is the fastest this can go without putting multiple items into the hoppers and locking them with the redstone signal. So this is the safest way to do this. And if I put this here, we should hear a pretty cool tune. That's pretty neat, right? I like that a lot. Oh, that is so cool. Oh man, yeah, that is so good. And the nice thing is that we can also break the dirt and we can switch it for a different block, and that's gonna completely change the music depending on the type of instrument you choose by the block. So this is like a bass, and emeralds are like a 8-bit block, which is really cool. So we might try out a few different combinations. But yeah, this is so cool. This is so good. So I'm gonna finish the circuit here real quick. I also offset this by 1 just so it has more depth to the actual build we're gonna put here eventually, once we finish this. And yeah, we're gonna give it a listen after that, and if we're happy with it, we're gonna move on to the next stage of the project. Both of the sections are in, and yeah, that's how they sound, and I think it's pretty good. I think it is really cool. What I've heard though, in the forums that I have found out about how to do this, I'm just gonna turn this off, and I'm also gonna very carefully back away. I've heard that having the lower sound on the scale play less frequently usually makes it sound better, so we're gonna try to do that here. I'm gonna put a dirt block in all of these lower ones, and then we're gonna reactivate it. I guess that's better. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I'm not a very music-oriented person. I mean, I love music, I just don't know how to make it, and this is kind of my learning process of how to do it that I'm doing here, but yeah. I think that's neat, I think that works. I think we're gonna give a listen to a few more materials before we decide what we wanna do. Oh my goodness. Okay, after the ones we tried, I think the clay one is gotta be my favorite. It's a flute, I think? The instrument that the clay gives to the note block. I think it's really good, personally. I like it a lot, so we're gonna keep it in the clay block form for now, but we're gonna move on to the next step of the project, and I think that's gonna make this design unique apart from the other ones. Hopefully, that is the plan at least. Can you uncraft slime blocks? Yes, you can. I should probably know that off the top of my head, but Yeah, it's good that it is that way. Yeah, we're gonna do something really cool here. Since we have so many cool block combinations with the notebook, right? Like the clay, which gives it the flute, and the emerald, which gives it the 8-bit sound. I think it would be really cool if we tried to make a block swapper here, which is gonna replace the bottom block of the node block here with a different one, so we can basically switch in between instruments. The thing about block swappers is that for some reason I am just incredibly bad at building them, so and I already messed up because for some reason I did this, which is completely not what I'm supposed to be doing. But yeah, I want to come up with my own design. I don't want to be looking up stuff all the time, so I'm gonna try and figure something out here. Spoiler alert, I looked up a block swapper design anyway. I couldn't figure it out, guys. I tried my best, but I really couldn't, and this is a really good design that I have now memorized, so I'm really happy that I did that in the end. But yeah, here it is, the whole complete, well, it's not decorated yet, but in functionality, it's a complete product. A random music maker, including a instrument changer to boot, and I'm pretty proud of this, so let's test it out. The whole proper design. We have a switch here, which we can manually activate or deactivate, and it of course works as it did before, which is pretty neat. And then, get ready, look at this. Oh, that's so good. Oh my goodness, that is so good. Oh, that looks so... I mean, look. I'm no redstone maestro or anything, but that just looks awesome, doesn't it? So basically there is a big problem with that redstone dust over there. You can't really see it from here, but basically it is diagonally powering these pistons, and basically what I had to do is I had to deactivate the whole contraption while the blocks are swapping, and then reactivate it once they are done. And it is done pretty simply with this redstone line over here. This basically just goes into a pulse extender, which turns off the contraption for a short amount of time, just enough time for the other circuit to go off, which is the actual block changer. So here we have a repeaters, just so there is a delay, so this circuit has time to complete, right? So the whole machine deactivates, then the repeater powers the powered rails, which are detected by a observer and another observer over here. There are two observers, and each one of them connects up to a observer line, which is detected by another observer line. I know that it's a lot of observers, but bear with me, which then activate the block swapper. This is basically a block swapper. I'm gonna activate it so you guys can see how it operates, but basically, yeah, these pistons activate first, they pull the blocks down, then this one activates, which pushes the blocks this way. This one doesn't fire because it can't, because these pistons are blocking it, and that is all on the rising edge. So when the button is pushed and when it deactivates, because the observer actually detects the rail powering and unpowering, right? So it actually changes twice. And basically what happens then, I can actually show it to you guys. So I can actually break this rail here, and I can show you what's happening step by step. So this is the first part, which activates on the powering. This is how it looks. So you can see that the blocks swap, and now we just need these pistons to activate, which happens when we change the block state down there again. And that is basically how the block swapping is happening. It's basically identical on both of these designs. I could have used redstone dust over here. That is completely fine. I just wanted to use powered rails because that is way more lag friendly, and we are starting to have a little bit of a lag issue. I don't know if you guys can see it on the videos, but I can definitely feel it in my gameplay. So I'm trying to decrease the amount of redstone dust we're going to be using, and I'm going to be replacing it with powered rails in the places where it is compatible. Is that how you say it? Compatible with, yeah. But hey, that is basically the redstone side of things done with this. And I'm not gonna lie, I really want to decorate this. There is a lot of space to do a lot of cool stuff with this, but I promise that we're gonna be working on redstone today, so we're gonna switch it up and we're gonna do, well, we're actually not gonna switch it up, we're gonna do redstone again. It's gonna be more useful this time because check this out, this is pretty neat. I've been just wandering around the compendium area here and I found this cave which has lava in it. But check this out. We fly over here and look what's over here. You probably can't see in the darkness and I don't have any normal torches, so the redstone one is gonna have to suffice. But look at this, we have a skeleton spawner over here the entire time, right underneath our noses, that is. I have no idea how I even missed this, because I did... Oh, cat, nice. I did actually explore like a good amount of the holes and openings in this place, and I don't have... I don't have any rockets, so bear with me, I'm gonna try to get out of here. But yeah, I've actually been walking around this place quite a bit, trying to find all of the cave entrances, and also I've been lighting a lot of them up just so there is less mobs in case we decide to build a mob farm around here, right? And I somehow missed this one. I guess it's the hill, right? The hill kind of blocks the entrance. You can't really see it until you come close by, or maybe I mistaken it for a creeper hole, who knows? But yeah, there is a skeleton spawner right there, and we're gonna tame it, but we're not gonna tame it in any regular way. We're actually gonna try to do something cool with it as well. So I'm gonna restock on rockets, because I'm totally out. I'm gonna grab a bunch of resources and we can do something cool with the spawner. And the whole contraption is gonna rely on one single thing, and that is this cauldron over here. Let me place it. There we go. So we're gonna need a single block of powdered snow to do this. I'm pretty sure that having just a single cauldron is gonna take an incredible amount of time. Actually, let me move it down here, that way it's gonna be way more likely to be loaded. There we go. But yeah, we're gonna need a single bucket of powdered snow because we're actually gonna be converting the skeletons into strays, because that is basically what I want to do. I want to try to make a stray farm of all things right here in the compendium project, just to see if we can actually do it, because don't strays drop something special? They drop arrows of slowness, I'm pretty sure. And don't get me wrong, I do love using spectral arrows, but having options is always nice. And honestly, I just want to try doing the challenge, right? I really want to try to convert the farm to a stray farm. So that's what we're gonna do. And I just realized that I cannot sleep because I needed to keep snowing and raining. And yeah, if I sleep, then it cancels out, right? It's gonna stop snowing, so I'm gonna have to probably AFK a bunch for the single piece of powdered snow. Actually, thinking about it, I should probably place a bunch of these here so I have a higher chance of getting it, right? Do you know what? Maybe I should make a powdered snow farm before I make a stray farm. Huh. And there you have it, that's the whole farm right there, done and dusted. Well, except it's not dusted, it's just done. And it still has a few kinks that I need to figure out how to fix, but the whole concept is pretty much workable with. So yeah, I'm gonna show you... Oh yeah, I forgot there's a hole there. So yeah, usually I do stuff like this on camera, but today I decided that I'm gonna do basically most of this off camera, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of a tour so you guys can see how this works. And yeah, I guess we can begin with the actual spawner here, which I made a small hole for, as you usually do with skeleton farms. And also this is the first time we used tinted glass here, which doesn't allow any light to go through it, which is really cool. very useful for stuff like this. But yeah, we have the spawner over there with a few stone blocks above it. That way skeletons cannot spawn on the spawner itself, because that would decrease the rates. And this is gonna be a bit of a fight for our life here, but I'm gonna try to show how this whole thing is working. So we have a collection system in the middle here. All of the skeletons get funneled into a single tunnel like this, and they all go up this water stream over here. Usually there is a single skeleton kinda just stuck in this place, but once there's another skeleton coming in, they usually push each other, so it isn't too big of an issue. Okay, let's go up here. This is gonna be kinda deadly, I'm afraid, and also you're able to see above ground right now. Oh, how did that guy get over there? I'm gonna have to look into that. But what happens here is that we have a gate. What's killing me? Hello? I have no idea. There's like invisible... Oh yeah, there's trace below the snow there. That's what happened. Hello, skeleton. But yeah, the skeletons get pushed on top of the gate, kinda like this. And there is a slime block right below us right now, and it retracts based on a hopper clock, which is behind this wall here. And then the skeletons stand over here. There's a lot of arrows. My goodness. But if the skeletons stand over here, they get converted into strays while they stand on the slime block, and then they get pushed up this giant tunnel, which I will show you from the outside in just a little bit. And then they get pushed into the killing chamber. Apparently I need to make the actual tunnel bigger. Yeah, I hoped that we could have a hole in between these two spots so we could see the strays falling through. Yeah, but apparently... Oh, and this guy's a skeleton, so that is another problem. But apparently they do usually fall somewhere else, so that's an issue. I'm probably just gonna have to build this up and build that down a little bit. But yeah, other than that, the concept should work, so we should be good. It just needs a little bit of tweaking, as I said. And this is gonna be the killing area right over here. Turns out strays don't actually drop their arrows if you don't kill them manually. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have a piston with a honey block attached to it. And this is a pretty cool thing about honey blocks. They're gonna fall down, and the honey blocks are gonna block their fall, so they are gonna survive. But another cool thing about the honey blocks is that it isn't a full block, which means that if we kill the strays, they can still have, like, the hopper can still absorb the items through. It's full right now, that's why those things are still there. But you can see that it absorbs stuff through the honey block. And if we used like hay bale, that wouldn't be working, because the hay bale is a full block, but the honey block isn't. So that is a really cool concept that we're gonna integrate, and we're of course gonna decorate all of this, because this is really hideous. But we don't really have time for that today, so yeah, maybe in another episode. And to be honest, I didn't even plan for this to be here. I actually wanted the whole thing to be underground. Kind of just turned out that I needed to do a big tunnel one more time than I expected to. And yeah, now we're actually gonna be able to see all of the strays dying while we are in this base, which is actually a pretty cool addition. I just need to make it pretty, which is gonna be tough. But yeah, that is going to be the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!